Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ironrealmmedia is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to Space Lettuce from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an scout.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Everything's internet. The earth is flat. It's like school. Internet.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, we have afraid of course, that there is no dark matter out there. So what? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
And yeah, happy Monday, to the extent that a Monday can be happy. Welcome to the IRONWORX. It's a bit of a cold start here in Missouri. It's only about 16, 17 degrees. So forgive us if our teeth chatter and we rattle our bones, or you see our breath. That's what it is. It's so cold. That's not smoke. We're not getting high. That's just how cold it is, or something. Morning, fellas.
Good morning. Guten Tagen. Chilly as frick for me. It's below 20 here. I mean, below 30, it'll be in the 20s. I'm like, I think this morning about 6:30 or 6:45, it'll be 28 here. Right now I have water dripping because of the pipe situation at my house. And yes, I know you're not supposed to do that. Well,
why not?
Don't tell that to my pipes. You're not. It fucks up the whole water system in your town when everybody runs their pipes and water and all that drips.
I call horseshit. I never heard that before.
Yeah, it does. All the pressure goes down and fucks you up.
Well, I believe that might be true. That you might lose a little bit of pressure if everybody does a little bit of water. But if like half the people do a lot of water, I mean, surely it's designed to handle that.
Or if only a few people do all the water.
Right.
It just depends on how you want to divvy it up, I guess. Yes, Caleb, pipes are calling.
The pipes.
Absolutely, Justin. There was one winter in a little town called Belzona, Mississippi. And I was probably, in my late teens. If I wasn't 18, I was headed that way for sure. And this is a little town, I guess, a little bit more northern Mississippi than central, which is the part of Mississippi I grew up in, central Mississippi, which got cold and had snow and stuff every, maybe couple of years. Lots of below temperatures, below freezing, a lot during the wintertime. Anyway, so we did it all. We had water running, and I think we even had heating going maybe on the outside exposed pipe of some sort. It seems like, because the guy that my sister was dating was from that little town, and had dealt with winters, and so he advised us to do whatever that was we did outside too. And well, I went to bed and got up the next morning, and cool, the faucets are still dripping, no frozen pipes, awesome, until you flush the toilet. And then you realize that sewage had frozen up into the ground, and you weren't going to be flushing anything. So that was a whole different thing. I'd never dealt with that ever growing up, with the cold pipes and living in trailers here and there and having, more exposed pipes in different homes, but never had frozen sewage out of the house before, which creates, quite a bit of a issue after a few hours anyway. But yeah, I'll make it. It's not going to be long. We'll have a day of this where it stays around 40, I think is what I saw. And then later tonight, it'll be down in the 30s again, below freezing. One more night, maybe 30, not quite 28. And then we'll be back up to our normal winter, which is, the coldest night will be around 48, I think, after that, for a few days. Maybe at least through Christmas. We'll have I don't know if I'll be wearing shorts this Christmas, but who have I missed? Let's come in. Post, I think, came in. But I didn't say hello to. I did get Regina, did I? Yes, I did. There's
I would love 48 degrees.
Sir?
I said I would love 48 degrees.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told Josh at first before you got here this morning, Zach. I said, yeah, I know. Wah, Walter, with your fucking one day of cold. I know, y'all freezing. It's kind of like that old Sam Kinison routine about all those people that are starving in the desert. Move it where the fucking food is. Well, there are warmer climes, so I'm just saying. There are warmer places. I told Michelle last night when it was just starting to get like towards 40-ish, and I was going there because we had to go to Lafayette. Her mom's in the hospital. I know you guys are aware of this probably. But she's doing better. She's on the mend. We went to visit her. She asked for me when Michelle went by herself, I think Friday. She was like, "Where's Walter?" So I went up there with her, and every time we'd get out of the car, I'd be like, putting on my, my hat real low down over my ears, tucking my hands with my gloves on anyway, and just, all that. She said, "What are you going to do when you really get old and the cold really hurts?" I'm like, "I guess I'll be down in Southern Florida with all the rest of the small hats. I don't know what else to do at this point." Don't know what else to do at that point.
Yeah, whenever I say it's cold, I just go look what the weather's like back home.
Where you used to live, right? See, at least you did make a little progress. Oh, good Lord.
Negative 15.
No. See, that's when you go, what am I doing with my life living here? And then people that are up in Canada, hello, Alan, love you to death, but I don't even see, y'all must not be normal. That's all I can think.
Vampires.
Cthulhu, Nakula, Thulu. I can't even say nothing yet this morning. What's up, Nuka? I'm not even going to try to even spell Cthulhu at this point. It's too hard.
Good morning, guys. How's it?
What's up, my brother?
Oh, well, good afternoon.
Dealing with celebrity death.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. Josh, let me know about Rob Reiner being stabbed. I think early on somebody mentioned it in the chat. Was that
Rob Reiner was stabbed?
He and his wife were both found dead, stabbed to death. Yeah.
Who?
Rob Reiner. Go ahead.
He was an actor in the 70s on this show called All in the Family. Archie Bunker, no, none of that ever got to your country. Anyway, that's where he started being famous, more or less, and then he started directing movies, and he's directed a bunch of great movies that I really love. One of the biggest for me was always Princess Bride. That was like one of my favorite movies ever. One of his best movies. And then if you're a musician and don't know, this is Spinal Tap, the original. Haven't seen the second one, probably won't ever. But yeah, the the genius of Spinal Tap for musicians is unparalleled. But yeah, apparently he and his wife were found stabbed after a reported death, and the cops doing a death investigation and trying to get access to the home and all that. And I'm like, well, who told you they were dead if they're in the home dead and nobody can get in the home? And I would think whoever reported it might be the first suspect you want to look at. She's saying here on the chat, Laura, is that it was her son, apparently, that their son did this, is the theory, I guess. I don't know. We haven't seen that anywhere yet on our end of things, Laura. I don't know where you got that one yet. Is that just a theory of yours, or is that something somebody's already put a video out about?
Have you guys heard that shooting in Australia at Bondi Beach?
No. Yes.
It's been everywhere.
15 people dead last I saw. And
15. I thought it was 12 people dead and 28 injured.
Who knows?
Goodness. Yeah, no, I missed all that one.
So it was a father and son team, possibly tracing back to Iran or something. You just can't trust what the fuck anybody says.
Well, how many shooters were there? Because there's a video of the one guy that got his gun snatched away by a bystander.
And then there was another one further up on a walkway, hiding behind like a little wall. I think that might have been the son was shooting from behind him, behind the guy with the shotgun.
Ah, okay.
From the little bit that I saw, I just saw the guy get disarmed.
Don't we have somebody that lives in Australia? They'll probably know more.
We have multiple people that live in Australia.
Multipulous. Oh, sorry. Reading back through chat. Connie, I don't have any flannel pajamas, but that would be the ones I need, would be cat flannel pajamas. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking, when did that shooting?
Like 51 minutes ago, it was the story I just looked at a few minutes before we went live. So I don't know.
Yesterday.
I think they started investigating yesterday evening at like 4:30 p.m. is what the article said. But that was all saying, like I said, that had been reported and they were trying to gain access and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, who reports shit like that don't live there or have access to it or whatever? Anyway.
I'm still waiting to hear the reason why these people did this. Right before Christmas. And I thought guns weren't easy to get in Australia.
They're not supposed to be.
They're probably just not easy to own legally. My guess would be they're probably not terribly hard to get. They're just, like, it's probably not like super impossible to get a gun in Australia. It's just a lot harder to own it legally, would be my guess, if at all possible.
Guys.
Do you guys remember that movie, The Mask, with Jim Carrey?
Unfortunately, I do, yeah.
Remember the antagonist?
Not at all.
The gangster guy that was dating, what's her name? The actor's name was Peter Green, and he was found dead in his apartment this weekend, too. You'd probably recognize Peter Green if you saw him. Yeah. Nobody's still sure exactly. Go ahead.
Is it the guy? No, I think I did look at someone had passed in something, and I didn't know who they were. So that might be who I looked at. Let me go look at his picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was who it was. I know him more as the bad guy from Pulp Fiction. He was Zed. Zed's dead, baby.
Yep, exactly.
Zed's dead.
Yeah, he was found face down with a bunch of facial injuries.
Yeah, I did see that it was a very unusual thing. Well, I mean, you know, it is that time of year, right? What is it? Not Belton. Is it Belton? What is it right now? What is their sacrificial holiday going on right now? I used to have that little wheel easy to access, but I don't know where it is. The season. I bet Caleb knows. What's the real holiday, Caleb, going on right now? I mean, I'm not saying that he practices it, but he has vast knowledge of that type of thing. So I just can't remember the wheel of seasons anymore. Oh, my goodness, this is cold. I'm sorry, I'll shut up. But man, well, wait, let me show you who I am right now. I am the masked hooded man. I'm not masked,
Apparently,
but
there
I
are
am
many
hooded.
videos. Apparently, there are many videos of cops cowering when this is happening.
Well, one old guy runs up to him and knocks the shotgun out of his hand.
Typical.
I don't know that he was old.
Ah, there we go. Connie told us it was Saturnalia. I should have known that. What with the tree and whatnot. Thank you. I hear you. I hear you, Caleb. Every day is a holy day. Fucking A.
Oh, okay. I gotta walk Hank.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I would just get like a long extension leash and put him out the door.
Exactly what we do. We have a couple of those lead cables that I measured just perfectly to come just inside the sliding glass door so that when they're ready to come in, I don't have to step a foot outside to let them in or out. Seems like there was another shooting this weekend too, here in America. I forget where.
What's up?
At least one, but like one that had made national news.
Yeah, there was some kind of something. That's what when I saw that image of somebody being disarmed, I assumed it was tied into our current. Whatever Michelle asked me last night while we were eating, did I hear about the latest whatever? I'm like, oh no, I didn't. I didn't see this season. Is there new crisis actors on this season, or who did they bring back for this exciting conclusion of the year? Brown University. Yeah, I thought it was school related. Thank you, Justin. Brown College, whatever.
And isn't that one of those HSBCUs?
I don't smoke that. What is it?
One of those historically black college and universities or something. Wasn't Brown like a traditional?
I thought that was a women's college. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. Did I say hey?
You want to go party?
I do.
Come here, bitch. Come here.
Oh, bad.
No, that's right.
I know
Hey,
all
guys,
the kiddies were. Oh, go ahead, sir.
What's the difference between a cop and a sheriff?
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction. So in a town, there would be a police department.
Yes.
What happens if there's a sheriff department as well?
The sheriff runs the county, which would cover multiple towns.
Right, that's what I was saying. Here in Louisiana, it's the sheriff covers the parish, which is what Louisiana calls its counties, and the police cover the actual local constabulary. What's that word? My brain won't call it with it. That's the one my tongue is not ready for yet. Yeah.
And the way I understand it,
And the sheriff is elected.
if a slave once upon a time were to run away, there would be a group of people that would collect them. They were reavers. The reavers of the Shire. And that eventually became a sheriff.
Right.
As the way I understand
So
it.
if there's a shooting in town or even a hostage situation, who responds to that?
Both probably in that situation. Like if you're...
And then
because the town it falls within the city, a lot of times, or because the town falls within the county, a lot of times county sheriff also has jurisdiction within the town. But the town police will not have any jurisdiction outside that town.
Right. Except if you live where I live, where weird shit goes on. And I've never had it explained to my full understanding nor justification. But about 10 miles from my house is a place called Sharonton, which is the middle of the sovereign nation of the Chitimacha Indians here, where there is a land casino. And the only place you can have a land casino in Louisiana is on a reservation, because they're considered not part of America. They are another country, essentially. Any other casinos here in Louisiana that are doing live gambling have to be on water. It used to be that they had to be on water and had to be able to unmoor and leave that dock and come back. But they quickly changed that shit, and it became just moored off of a water. They had to be on water. And all that's weird and whatever. But somehow the Chitimacha Indian tribal police have some type of jurisdiction outside of that place, because they are constantly pulling people over, writing tickets out on the 4-lane. It's really bizarre, and I don't really understand it, but I'm a good dude and don't get in trouble, so I haven't had to confront them and go, who the hell are you? Go back to your reservation. But anyway.
So either one can pull a car over and ask for license and registration and stuff.
Yes. Depending on where they are. And the sheriff is technically the highest law enforcement agent in that area. Allegedly, full stop. Like, even the federal government can't just come rolling through the county without the county sheriff's permission.
And if the police department arrests one of the sheriff deputies or something, I'm sure they won't arrest the sheriff, but somebody under him.
Yeah, you can do that. Like if if there's a sheriff's deputy that's like totally shit-faced and just out whooping it up and hollering and driving all over the road with lights and sirens on and just, joyriding all shit-faced, yeah, they'll probably pull him over and arrest him. I'm sure there's quite a bit of professional courtesy that gets extended there, but I suspect that it's not like it allows either department, the sheriff's department or the police department, just kind of carte blanche to do and behave in any way they see fit. I'm sure they're still able to get arrested.
Yeah, no, I've seen sheriffs get arrested. Yeah. With the cop cam videos now, with their body cams. Yeah, I've seen multiple cops be like, no, I'm not turning it off. I'm not losing my job, my career, because you decided to go get drunk and drive. Sorry. Now, who knows? Those are just those interactions. Those could be police officers that may not be in the lodge. But no, I mean, I've seen people that look like they were definitely in the lodge, asking, come on. He's like, dude, I can't. He's like, you know how this goes. What did that one cop say? 20 years ago, he'd be dead. Talking about Sean Paul.
Dude, knocked his teeth down his fucking throat.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely true.
So they're thinking of putting body cam footage, the body camera thing on the cops here. And they want to trial it in one of the cities because we don't have that. And absolutely everyone is against it. The cops, the public, everyone except the government or the person who holds that particular contract, because it's worth millions to be able to run it. And we all are against it for different reasons. Because in my country, cop stops you and maybe, you need to change your tires, you have a busted headlights or whatever it is, you give him some money. It's like $100. It's like $15 when you hand over your license. He puts it in his pocket, he looks at your license, gives it back, tells you to go. We can't do that if there's a body cam footage now. Now everybody has to abide by the law.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but now instead of paying $100, I'm gonna end up paying $1,000 to the damn city. Now, I don't want to do that. I'd rather pay the $100 to the cop. He goes off, but he's happy, and I'm happy.
Well, yeah, but that's a dysfunctional society there. It doesn't work that way.
Well, see, this is the thing. If the $1,000 that I paid to the city was gonna get used in a constructive way, fine. But the $1,000 that I paid to the city, some fat cat that drives a Mercedes or a BMW, he's gonna take the money and use it for his shit. So it's the same thing as the cop. Rather pay the cheaper one.
I hear you.
And we have, if you live in a big city, we have police stations in the suburban and rural areas. And then in the main city, there will be what we call metro cops. They are directly responsible for pulling people over and giving you tickets and that kind of thing. Like normal cops that work in the community can't actually pull you over or even give you a ticket. It's only the metro cops that can do it. But the metro cops have guns as well, and they can respond to crimes in the city. But you can't call a metro cop to come out to like a suburb because there's somebody trying to break in or something. And these guys, there was footage of these guys that were robbing a bank, and they just parked outside the bank, AK-47s, and this metro cop in his metro cop car drives past, sees what's going on, reverses, and fucking hightails it out of there. And everybody was so pissed that he didn't even have the decency to call for backup or approach these people. He just saw AK-47s, 5 people, reversed out and fucked off. So everyone was saying, well, fuck this, I'm not paying my tickets. Every ticket that I have, I'm not paying it because the cops aren't doing their job. Why the hell are we paying all these tickets? They don't even want to catch criminals.
Well, because some criminal decided, you know what? If we just give this dude like $100, he's like, fuck off. And then it saves us a whole bunch of time and trouble in the court system, and we can just totally make the justice system corrupt. And then the people won't give a shit. The people are like, no, we don't want any accountability. We'll take some corruption. It's fine because it's cheaper for our pocket.
Hey, man, that money's insured, eh? It's not my money.
This doesn't work out well in the end, though. Okay. No, I get it, though. When the government's corrupt, you don't want to give them the money either.
The people, we have private security companies in my country. They're all very big. They all make a shit ton of money because neighborhoods or like a stretch of road in a neighborhood, they'll all contract one security company. And what they do, they'll do the patrolling and sort of the catching of criminals. I mean, they still have to call the cops once they catch the criminal because they're the ones with the jurisdiction. But in my country, the people that actually do police work and catch criminals and, actually look out for the community are all these private security companies. Even if you're not a member of that security company, if you live in that community, you can actually call them if you see something going on, and they will still come and help you. So cops in my country are just basically useless. They should just privatize all the police stations and hire all of these private companies, since they're the ones that do the job. Give them contracts and let them look after the public because they're the ones actually doing that job.
If only there was a way to keep track of what they did throughout the day and then go back and look at it and be like, look at what you did here and look at what you didn't do here. That way you could justify what they get paid to do and what they're not doing or what they are doing. If only there were a way to make that happen.
You know what, Josh? I'm with you right there, except that system will always be down. It will never work. In my country, the only government system where they will reply to you, they will reply an email to you within a minute. They will pick up the phone. The system is never down. Everybody is working 24/7. Is the SARS department, which is the South African Revenue Services. No, the tax department. They're the only ones that everything is always working. You'll put those cameras on the cops. Give it a week, they'll stop working, or the memory will be full. It will never work. It's pointless.
Oh. Gotta have laws, Nuka.
Yeah, but you need to enforce the laws. If you're gonna have them, enforce them. Because if you have laws for the sake of having them and then you don't enforce them, then what's the point? I have to do a runaround. I have to do a runaround just to own a gun in my country. Now, I have a gun, but it's under my security company that I had to open, that I have to pay fees for every single month, that I have to generate fake income so it stays open, so it's doing something, so I can pay tax on it, just so I can own a gun.
Yeah, that's messed up. But hey, you can own a gun. That's... What are the, like over in Europe, I can't say Europe, I can say England. Like they're arresting people and putting them into prison for speech. Like, is that happening in your country? What are your free speech laws like down there?
Depends
like
what
England,
you said, and it depends on your race.
Have you heard about what they're doing in England? Like this lady sent a text message to somebody. Not social media, not posting on, not saying it over airwave. A text message that wasn't nice, all right, but still. And they sent her to prison for it. For sending a mean text.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
We have free speech laws, but it also depends on your race and what you said and who you said it to. If it's just me and you walking around, you cut me off in traffic, and I call you a cracker, and you want to call me a nigger or something, and I call the cops, they ain't going to do shit. They're just going to say, get over it.
The answer is no. I mean, you can just say no.
We have the laws. We have free speech laws.
Well, that's not what he asked. No, we don't have any free speech here. There's laws that say we should, but no. In actuality, well, Put
it this way. If you're black, you have free speech. You can say anything you want. You have free speech.
And this is why so many people have an issue with letting 10 million illegal immigrants cross the border.
I'm not seeing the correlation of the illegal immigrants.
How many brown people do you think it would take before they're yelling, kill the Boers?
Yeah, look what's happening in Minnesota.
My point exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But brown isn't black though.
Yep.
It
doesn't have to be black people.
Not the color that does it. It's the systemic society that they came from that they're trying to bring over to the United States and continue doing.
Right. We've already figured it out as a country.
Is not. Yeah. Somalia has a lot of problems with their government. Very corrupt. Right. And they're not saying that the U.S. government isn't corrupt, right? but we have a lot of systems in place. And no, this, like, the amount of fraud that the Somali government people here in the United States have committed is insane. They're saying it's the most fraud ever, but come on. This is the most fraud that's been exposed. They're still looking for the $14 trillion they lost before 9/11. You know, so no, there's been way bigger frauds taking place.
So what has your government done about it?
They're deporting, I think it's like 100,000 Somali people. Like Trump's going scorched earth.
And I think there's an actual conversation.
There's no other punishment, they're just deporting them?
Well, any other punishment we'd have to pay for. You put them in a prison, and then we have to take care of them. 3 hot meals a day.
Get the Somalian government to pay back some of that damn money. Stay as citizens.
What are the chances your GDP is higher than the entire Somali GDP? Like, you think the Somali governments can afford to house and clothe and bed every one of the illegal Somalis in this country?
Well, this is what I'm saying. If they can't pay for it, take away some of their land like the US always does and build an army base there or something.
Well, that's an interesting alternative to deportation. Just pure colonialization, militarization.
Still send them back. The government will deal with them, but say, hey guys, they did this damage here. You owe us this amount. If you can't pay, give us some land, and you can build your army base and point your guns at South Africa.
And not to get all Tucker Carlson, but you can't necessarily punish the entire country for the actions of a few bad actors that tried to come into this country illegally. That's how you kill the Boers. That's what I'm saying. We've figured it out as a country already. Like, it's not that white people per se. It's not that white people are a minority. It's that Americans are a minority in the American way of life, and the American society in and of itself becomes a minority to immigrants. When they come in at 10 million people a year across the border and are outbreeding us 6-1.
So let me ask a more candid question about America and people trying to get into the country. Why does the American government, I mean, now they're trying to stop people from coming in, I guess, but before they weren't. Why is the American government so worried about the perception of them not allowing people of color, in this case, into the country? If all of these governments seem to be so worried about what the other governments will think. I can only think it's because of investors and businesses. That's the only reason I can think of why they care so much what other countries think. I mean, you would think in your country you get to do whatever the hell you want. You're the ruling government.
George Bush referred to it as a new world order. Then that's how you get it. If you can completely destroy all borders, then there's no countries. If there's no countries, then you can't have a government for a country that doesn't exist. So what you need is one government to rule them all. And really, the only way we can do that is with a alignment of thoughts and values. And really, the only way that happens is with a one world religion. And probably the best way for a religion to get as rich as possible would just be have everybody in the whole world collect under the same monetary system. And a one world monetary system. So everybody's got the same money and the same religion and the same government.
There are countries that would welcome that. I'm assuming Brazil, Mexico, and whatever, if it meant they were part of the United States, I'm sure they'd welcome that. But I'm not so sure the people in the States would want that to happen.
No, it would never happen for people here in the States. Also, because that is one of those defining American features, sort of, is that independent will and independent spirit. One of the reasons we don't want 10 million illegal immigrants coming across our border every fucking year, trying to change our society. You know who would have freedom if America didn't exist? Not many fucking people. And definitely not us here in America. It's not to say that America is not without fault and has created its share of violence, chaos, war, death, and destruction. However,
Yeah, so how many other countries have the right to bear arms? Not just the right to own and operate, right? But the right to bear arms against its government.
not many. I wouldn't imagine.
Has that been written to any other country's like constitution? Like, yeah, and if we step out of line, y'all can whoop our asses, by the way.
But how much of that is just head patting? Like when a dad wrestles with the kid and pretends the kid can pin him on the ground. Oh, you got me. Oh, yeah. Oh, good shot.
Says,
you got me right where
No, it's a show, but that's where the whole, United States persona comes from.
So hold on, it's Mexico is allowed to bear arms. It says here the United States, Mexico, Guatemala, the Czech Republic, and Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Guatemala, Mexico.
And is that just the right to own a gun? Or is that where it's directly written into the Constitution that they have a right to overthrow the government?
No, this is Constitution. Says only a few countries in the world have a constitutional or statutory provision explicitly guaranteeing an individual's right to own and carry arms. And those were the countries.
And then do they have a right to use those guns against the government if they see fit?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to tell me that.
Well, it might. It should be written into that Constitution.
To your home. Like in Mexico's Constitution, it's pretty much limiting it to your home. You have the right to defend your home, but not against the government. Famously, with few restrictions, is the United States compared to other nations.
Which is why you need to import 10 million illegal immigrants across the border and then pretend that it doesn't exist. And just pump as many as you can across every fucking year. And hopes that the next guy doesn't shut that shit down.
So 10 million people each year, what is that like on the healthcare system?
Dude, insane. Like, we had no money for FEMA when we actually needed it. Because they spent it all on illegals' hotel rooms.
You should be getting some now. I just saw that FEMA just got a whole shit ton of money for Helene. Victims of Helene.
How many years later now?
Right. Is that year and a half, almost 2 years?
And how many of them are going to see any of it?
Probably the very few that saw the headline, remembered to call in, made it through the fucking phone tree of AI voices, and then finally got up on the list to get a piece of mail sent to them that they'll need to fill out exactly perfectly to mail back in to be able to get the application to apply for the funds from FEMA. Those people probably get some money.
So your hospitals have a Hippocratic oath where even if somebody is illegal, they have to attend to them, yes?
Yep. And that's the healthcare system for illegal immigrants. But it's okay because the hospitals get subsidized by the government for that shit. Except who funds the federal government?
Yeah.
Well.
And the people are just accepting that.
So, this is what brings us to today and the government shutdown that we experienced since my birthday on the 1st of October. And Obama and Obamacare and exactly how a country should be running healthcare and just how public or private healthcare should be. Because the government had subsidized so much of the healthcare through Obamacare, it was only funded up to, well, my birthday of this year. And then the government subsidies were going to stop. And we were going to have to pay full price for all this shit. Is basically what that means. They could hide the rising cost of all the shit that they were doing, and they could do it in the background, knowing that these subsidies were coming to an end, and you yank the subsidies, and you ain't got no choice.
Okay, so the American citizens, aren't they then directly suffering because of the strain on their healthcare system? Because of the people that are illegal. So why are the people not really doing anything about it?
Well, we thought we were when we hired President Trump, and I say we in the proverbial sense because I sure as fuck didn't vote for him.
Are you looking at the screen? Have you seen these, Noka? They're new. I don't know. They've only been out a year or two. These little, it's like a computer or TV in your hand. That's mostly why.
And the fluoride in the water. But we did realize it was an important issue in the last election. I think a lot of Americans realized that it was an issue. I mean,
okay, so does Texas do the same
Texas
thing?
tried.
They're not doing anything?
Well, I know that Texas ranchers definitely tried to secure their own private borders of their land, if not like the border of America, then at least the border of my farm. And I'm pretty sure that it was Sleepy Joe that put a kibosh on that and started charging them with like murder and shit and trying to just threw the absolute book at him, like human rights violations or some shit of them trying to protect their own land and the people trespassing and walking across these private farms. And Biden wouldn't let it happen, would take away their power. And I think jailed some, and I think it was a whole thing at some point. This is the fucking news cycle, man. If you can't remember what the fuck you hear, then it's just going to blow right by you. I remember in the Charlie Kirk assassination at the very beginning, and they were talking about how the investigators were talking to Lance Twigg, and he was like, "Oh, I thought he was just joking. I thought it was all a joke. He actually went through with it." But that was like within the first few hours after it happened, and not one mention of it since. Because I guarantee that the storyline is going to be that he had no idea. If they can find him. If he's not in federal protection, then he's probably in protection from somebody else. Somebody else is keeping him safe somewhere because he's just disappeared, apparently. But apparently he also had the foreknowledge of it going to happen. And that was the problem, is being able to prove, like, that means he should be charged. If he knew and did nothing. Or are there other connections through Lance Twig that there are other reasons why he knew it was going to happen ahead of time? Because he was helping plan it, he was helping fund it, he was training, he was doing all these things, and there are connections there that needed to be severed, and you either tie up all your loose ends or you tuck them away. Or just cut them off, so to speak.
So bear with me while I tell the story. This is the reason why I was asking what other people doing in America. Earlier on this year, South Africa is basically the America of flipping Africa. So everybody wants to come here. And we don't have like anything really stopping them. We're supposed to have borders, but it's shit. Everyone just gets through. And it's been putting a strain on the healthcare system. Because when it comes time to allocate money for healthcare, there's a bunch of millions of people unaccounted for, and you end up underfunding the healthcare because you don't know the numbers that you're supposed to be catering for. But we've been allowing it because it's allowed in the Constitution, in our Constitution, that everybody has a right to healthcare, whether they're here legally or not. Until one lady from KZN, KZN is the province I stay in. That's basically the Texas of South Africa. One lady was in Zimbabwe.
That should be a t-shirt, by the way.
So she went into labor, and she went to one of the hospitals, and they refused to see to her because she couldn't pay. Keep in mind, there's Zimbabweans, Nigerians, all kinds of people, Somalians even in our country, that can go to our clinics no matter what problem they have, and they'll get medication, they'll see a doctor, they'll have surgery, whatever. They refused to see to her because she couldn't pay. Our government was told about it. It got back to KZN, Texas. And our government here in KZN got on a chopper. They went and they fetched the lady and they brought her back to South Africa to our hospitals. And she was able to attend it too. So this was now on social media and everybody's just talking about it. So the people in KZN said, well, fuck this. These people get everything for free in our country, and they denied one of our women healthcare. And they started this organization called Dudula, Operation Dudula. And every single clinic and government hospital from that day till now has people from Operation Dudula standing by the gate with guns, with weapons and everything. And before you enter that hospital, you have to prove that you are a South African. Or clinic, you have to show your ID and they will let you in. If you are not here legally, you are not allowed in. So people who would go to the clinic for whatever reason, it would usually take 3-4 hours because there's so many people. And what they found is, once they've started doing this and denying all of these illegal foreigners, it takes about 10-15 minutes to see a doctor, and there's no waiting list for operations anymore. Everything just gets done quickly. So we've been deluded into thinking, oh, you know what? Our healthcare system is under pressure to the point where we take private healthcare, because we have private hospitals in my country. So you can have what we call medical aid, where you can go to a private hospital or a private doctor, because our local ones, our free ones, are overrun by foreigners. And once we started doing that, or once Operation Tudula started doing that, everything has been running smoothly. Our healthcare system has been on top. I don't even have to have medical aid anymore. I can just go to my clinic. I'll be back home within an hour, and I can go to any hospital. So the people decided to take a stand just because of that one incident. And I'm thinking, America, you guys are notorious for not taking shit. Why would they allow the healthcare system, which directly affects them and their children and their families, why would they allow other people from another country to affect their quality of life and not do anything about it?
It's really bad optics to step over dead and dying people on your way to the doctors to get your yearly checkup. I think there are people that would argue that part of being an American and being so well off is at least being able to look out for those that are underprivileged. And it's not even that we're supplying the money to all these illegals to go to the emergency room and use the emergency room medicine as health care and clog up all the funds and bureaucracies that way.
So what you just said there, John.
But the Hippocratic oath of first doing no harm and saying, look, if that's going to be the goal of this particular organization, then we have to take care of the people that need it, right? We have to be able to, if we think human life is unique and valuable, then we have to allow people not to just be dying from a cold and bodies piling in the streets because we refuse to see them. Our wait times are great. We get people in and out, but then we have other people that are dying in the streets from diseases that they don't have to and for reasons that ought not kill them. Like I got an infection. My tooth hurts. I just need a tooth extraction, but now I've got an infection, and now the infection's gone to my brain, and I'm dead. But nobody cares, because they get fast wait times. And what was your question?
So what happened to looking after your own first? You just said because America is well off. Every American I've ever met is not well off. They're not poor, but they have to work hard to be where they are in life. So they're not well off. And you just said America is well off, so you can have that moral dilemma where you need to let people through.
Economically speaking, the dollar's pretty strong compared to the most of the other monetary systems around the world. Like,
yeah, but I'm talking about the individual people. Not the government itself, the people in these communities.
Uh-huh.
So I understand the moral dilemma about it, because we have pregnant women in our country that are here illegally. And even they are not allowed in. Because we had a South African woman and they wouldn't let her in. So even they are not allowed in. So what they've done is, the illegal immigrants, they've decided now to migrate out of KZN, out of basically our state, into the other states, because the other states aren't really doing anything about it. They don't like it, but they aren't doing anything about it. In our state, we do. So all of these, not all of them, because there's still some here. And in our country, look, if you have money, you can go see a private doctor. And a lot of them have money, but people don't want to pay. They want something for free. And they're not even contributing to the tax of the country. So they've just left our province, our state, and moved somewhere else. And that was always going to be the problem when it came down to a dilemma where somebody's actually dying, or there's a pregnant woman, but she's not South African and she needs to get to this hospital, are you then going to buckle and say, okay, let her through because she needs to give birth because she's dying? Or are you going to stick by the principle where it is South Africans first and tell her, go somewhere else or go to a private hospital and pay for it? And what they've decided to do, and I'm all for it. I know other people disagree with me. They're saying, especially with women and children and that kind of thing, you're supposed to let them go see a doctor and that kind of thing. I'm for South Africans first, because people have been abusing the system for so long and they've been getting away with it, that something needs to be done.
And
So
that's
these
where we
people-
are. Same. Like, we would still be subsidizing the government. The government would still be subsidizing these hospitals for this emergency room care for people that can't afford it, for people that don't have health insurance, that are using it as health care, or that are using it and then just have to get billed later and then go into medical debt and try to pay your way back out of that. I'm all right with paying part of my taxes for that to happen for Americans. And that's the issue, is when you let 10 million people come across the border annually and you just flood them across as much as possible, they overwhelm that system. They overwhelm every system. And that's part of the goal of importing all of those illegal immigrants. Why Biden just said, fuck it. Why they fought for 4 years against a wall. Why, what's his name? Trump was not just an Islamophobist. What do they call it? The people that are afraid of just foreigners in general. It'll come to me. This is not conversation usually fit for an IRONWORX. This is pretty normie shit here, but
Xenophobe.
Xenophobe. Thank you. That's the one. Yeah, Trump was the number one xenophobe because he wanted to build a wall. He wanted to enforce borders. And as soon as he was out of office, man, they just fucking the floodgates opened. Yeah. And they just to overwhelm these systems. Because you can't bring an invading force in here because there'll be a private weapon, a gun owner behind every blade of fucking grass. And the amount of bodies you lose just trying to advance through. So you don't invade it. You tear it down from within. You just cause chaos and you take away whatever power and legitimacy and strength in its currency and all that shit. And you just watch it crumble. You're like, fuck it. All right. You're just, as a civilization, you'll just no longer be fine. You'll be ignored now. Now you'll just be third world. And third world and ignored. And that's what that's what they're attempting to do.
Part of the arguments that people use against South Africans, well, they say xenophobic as well. Part of the argument they use is that when it was the apartheid regime, when the people of color in this country were being discriminated against by the white government, a lot of people left the country and went to other African countries, right? But they always forget the key part is that we never intended to become a Mozambican or a Malawian or Nigerian or whatever. We went to the other countries to get education or receive training in something and came back to our countries. Came back to the country to contribute and try to get the white government out of power. Every South African, not everyone, but I mean, majority of South Africans that left came back because they wanted to fix their countries. And that's such an integral argument, because if you're in this country and you're saying that, you know, your government is corrupt, it's doing this, it's doing that, you're here to what? Get an education or what? You're supposed to always go back to your country and fix your country. You have a country. South Africans went back to the country, even though they were still discriminated against, and fought. You're supposed to go back to your country and fight to make it better. Why leave this country and why leave your country and come down here illegally? And now you have children that are also now here illegally, and you're fighting against the population of the indigenous population of this country and so on. It's ridiculous that to use that argument that we did the same things, because we didn't. We always came back. But it's something that they still argue till this day. Every time there's a debate about this, and the people in this country that are here illegally, it's something that they want to use as an argument. America, you should behave like America, or at least the perception around the world of Americans, which is I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I want to do. Put Americans first.
Which is what
that'd be nice.
Many people thought MAGA meant. Like there's an America First movement. And I welcome you all to go research America First movement. But it's different than Make America Great Again. Because MAGA just turned into Make Israel Great Again.
Huh.
Or continue making Israel great. Continue supporting, propping up.
Morning, boss. How we doing?
Hey, how about yourself?
Yeah, I can't complain.
I know.
That's the deal. Thank you, sir. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's just nice to hear Quick Trip runs like such a fucking well-oiled machine.
Okay.
And it does. I mean, like they run 2 cash registers each guy, and they'll just blow through a fucking whole room full of people in no time.
Yeah. You get people in and out of here quick, that's for sure. They do a pretty good job.
Fuck Quick Trip. Even though they got a good
Do you guys have them up there in Missouri?
Oh, yeah. Like their breakfast pizzas are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I've been getting the tacos lately.
I don't think I've had their tacos. I've had their taquitos, which are just typical gas station bullshit, but slowly warmed up on a rolling machine.
No, the tacos are made back in the kitchen. They're actually pretty good. They got breakfast ones. There's one, it's chorizo, eggs, cheese, and hash brown.
I feel like I have had that one. Because I'm such a big fan of chorizo that I thought, it seems like I have had a chorizo breakfast burrito from Quick Trip once before.
They're not like the gargantuan breakfast burritos that Justin gets. Good Lord. That burrito's like the size of a small child. I've never seen burritos that big.
When I was in Southern California on Sundays, sort of to get sober enough to at least get on the bus to get back to base, I'd wander down the street and buy some chicken burritos. And it was mainly just like chicken meat wrapped in tortilla. There wasn't a whole lot else to it. But the damn thing was the size of your forearm.
Like a whole chicken for a burrito.
At least. And your pee would smell exactly like this chicken burrito for the next 2 days. But it was only like $1.50, so you just couldn't pass up the deal.
Back in the day, Taco Bell's chili cheese burrito thing was like the size of your forearm. They were huge. It was like 99 cents.
Yeah.
Now it's the size of one of their old tacos.
That's $4.50.
Yeah.
so gross. Like between our taxes and insurance on the house, which are factored into our monthly payment, our mortgage doubled over the last 6 months.
Good Lord. Taxes going up?
Yep.
They putting a data center near you?
I don't think so. They're fighting pretty hard against those data centers around here. Tell you what, Missouri's pretty good about that shit. Yeah. Like, we're putting the kibosh on the candy and the soda and shit on for the SNAP benefits. That's one thing I like about Missouri is we still really have a very strong sort of American mentality and American spirit. Little soft on the abortion issue, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, to each their own.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like there's a big push in the younger children. Like a conservative anti-abortion push now, I'm hearing. Going through a lot of the high schools and stuff like that.
I'm sure. If you have people that, at the very least, self-identify as being Christians,
yeah,
then the only logical explanation is sort of the abolitionist movement. This is, I think I was listening to somebody, and I hate to say it, but it might have been even Nick Fuentes this past weekend. But I don't think it was.
With Piers Morgan?
It would have been one of the follow-ups. Saying, look, you can't show us from the time we get into elementary school the sort of brainwashing, so to speak, the repetition. I mean, there's clearly going to be an agenda going on when it comes to World War II and Jewish people, to the point that you can't have conversation, that it's illegal to even question the narrative in some countries. And in this country, they're making it not so that it's illegal, but it's so hot button that they call you anti-Semitic. If you question the narrative, they just come out and call you anti-Semitic. Oh, you just hate Jewish people. But why are we giving them all this money? Oh, you hate Jewish people. Like, why can't we have the conversation? Why can't we look and see what's going on in Gaza, what the Jewish people are doing to the Palestinians in Gaza, and say, where have we seen this before? This behavior looks really familiar. But we can't even have the conversation because the moment you ask the question, it's, oh, you just hate Jewish people. It's not that I hate Jewish people. I'm just wondering why Jewish people are acting like fucking Nazis.
Yeah, it's not a free pass. Being Jewish isn't a free pass just to do whatever you want. I mean, it's pretty explicit in the book. Like, yes, this will be your land, right? If you follow Torah. There's a big if in there, right? God just didn't say, oh, you're my chosen people. You can rape and pillage and murder and do whatever you want. And everybody just has to back you guys up always because I chose you.
But isn't
that's not how the covenant went.
But then we bring in books like the Talmud, right? Which is what, just two people who have different interpretations of that book. Yeah, Isn't that what that is?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At very least, prima facie evidence shows that, like all books, can definitely be interpreted in multiple ways.
I think what God meant to say here was
right. What he really meant. Well, if he were alive today, this is what he would have said.
And according to the creator, the Talmud is an evil book. You don't add to or take away from Torah. Torah is the only religious book. That's where you go to get your religion. You don't go to any other book written by any other man, according to Torah. Let all other men be known as liars that go against this word. Yeah, it's very clearly written. You make a contract. It's not 10 commandments. There's a 10-word phrase that you say to bind yourself, with the creator, and you tell him, I'm going to live by the way you ordered us to. And if I don't, then I break that contract and you don't have to fulfill your end of the bargain. Hence, Israel will be our land, until the return. Or yada, yada, yada. They don't. Not saying that no Jews follow Torah, because there are devout Jewish people that live there in that land that do follow Torah. But they're a lot fewer and far between than, the nation of Israel. No, it's not your land. It'll be your land when you follow Torah. Now, I would be willing to bet that the people that are living there are closer to following Torah than the people that are colonizing it. Just saying.
I do know that they claim that it's a majority secular Jewish state. Israel is. But I think that's all just part of the propaganda. I think it's a way to hide the fact that it's that minority of religious Jewish people that are actually in charge, regardless of the fact that it's a majority secular Jewish nation. And certainly the prime minister seems to hold quite a bit of power, given the fact he's still running around the world asking for pardons for his war crimes. Whilst,
what do you think about him coming out? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Him letting everybody know that he wasn't the one who killed Charlie Kirk. Like, he came out right after it and said, hey, that wasn't me. No other world leader decided to come out and say, hey, we didn't kill Charlie Kirk. That wasn't us, by the way. I thought that was a little odd.
Well, I do think the fingers, or at least eyeballs, might have shifted without turning any heads. Eyeballs may have shifted in the direction of Israel when it happened. Especially to people like Candace Owens, who I think knew that this was a conversation that was being had. And maybe he's right. Maybe it was done completely by the donors without any green light from Netanyahu. I can absolutely see that. And it just sort of things being done maybe through assets known to by Israel, but like normally this is who Israel would use, but Israel's not using them, so we're gonna, and as long as we're not going through Israel to get to them, we bypass Israel. They have plausible deniability. Like, I seriously doubt Netanyahu didn't know about it. I bet you there were lots of people that knew about it. Obviously. All the accounts that suddenly deleted immediately after it happened. All those people talking about what's going to happen that day.
That's suspicious.
Uh-huh. The last I heard, old Candace and Erica are going to do a sit-down, face-to-face. Off the air.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Before they do anything on the air, they decided it would be best to sit down off air and have a conversation face-to-face. Which was awfully grown-up of them. Like, it would be very easy and very profitable to keep this shit going on podcasts. On your daily shows, take it back and forth, taking jabs at each other for the next few weeks. Real fucking profitable, I bet. But they say nope. Or at the very least say, before we do that, let's at least sit down and get our story straight. Or whatever.
A dry run. Rehearsal meet, if you will.
Yeah, Laura, I have to expect that you're right that Candace will end up dead. But I think that would be such a bigger martyrdom. Look at what Charlie Kirksteth has done and the martyr he has become posthumously. Like, he apparently, even the day of, he knew they were out to get him. He was sending texts saying, I think today's the day, essentially. Or they're gonna get me. But it wasn't like out there. It's not like millions of people tune in to listen to the people, to her talk about the people that went after him. Like, if she just winds up dead, that's the true martyrdom, because everybody's expecting it. Good morning, Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. And in regards to the Charlie Kirk thing, I've looked into this about as much as people look into 9/11 or the moon landing. And from what I have seen and doing all the video forensics, I don't think that he was shot that day. I don't think anyone got shot that day because of all of the CGI that was incorporated with the entire thing. But then people might necessarily ask, and with, due cause, like, well, where is he now? Well, they may have just told him and Erica, like, oh, by the way, there's going to be a whole bunch of money for you, but we have to stage your death kind of situation. And then he's basically forced, I know it's kind of a stretch, he's forced into agreeing with it, and then they just kill him afterward. And where is he now? Oh,
where the astronauts go for the months that,
Oh, they probably go to like Mar-a-Lago or Epstein Island or
not be seen. Yeah, there's a lot of islands out there. There's a lot of underground places.
Yeah, but the point is, he's not around anymore, as far as we know. I've never heard anyone say that they've had these look-alike potential people to get in his place. It's sort of like
but
Epstein.
Mission Impossible mask technology's gotten pretty advanced.
I suppose.
I mean, Michael Jackson went to his own fucking funeral. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, Dave?
Well, yeah.
That's ignorant. I'm a little white girl.
Yeah, that's a great episode of South Park.
Yeah,
the newest one
I think
actually
they went a
came
little
out a couple
hard
days
on
ago.
Michael in that episode, but it was still really funny.
So if someone like Michael Jackson were to get facial reconstructive surgery, or Jeffrey Epstein, or Charlie Kirk, there's certain places in the world they can move to, and people wouldn't know who the fuck they even are. And
Oh,
then
they could
just
go
live out
without
their
the
life.
surgery and people wouldn't know who they were.
Yeah, just go like to the middle of like Siberia or something like that. Yeah, no one's gonna know.
Hell, we're
Just
so
don't be.
cut off from like South America, they could just go to Argentina and they'd probably be fine. Nobody would know who they were. So compartmentalized.
Have you guys seen the? It's on Dave Weiss's website. It's the, on stoplookthink.com. It's the 6-minute video of the Charlie Kirk thing.
Now, wouldn't a
No, you haven't
30-06? Sorry, Andrew, but a 30-06 bullet, shouldn't that have left like a hole you could pretty much stick your hand into on the back end? Wouldn't that have just blown out most of his neck?
Yes, and the weirdest, stupidest, dumbest thing I've heard people talk about is like, oh yeah, it ricocheted off of the back of soft tissue and then went down through his heart. That's why there was no exit wound. It's like, that's not how that works.
How about now?
What? Who?
Yes, now.
Oh, Rico.
Okay, sorry. I think we were meant to have endless rabbit holes with that whole quote unquote shooting, because there's so many theories that work, but not quite. So it's kind of like the JFK assassination or 9/11, to where you get lost in conspiracy so much that you never find your way up. I think he was wearing a dye pack or whatever Hollywood uses for bullets. I don't think he died right there in front of everybody. But I don't know.
That's where I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think he was wearing anything. Because there was no blood on the floor. There was no blood on his shirt. There's no blood on the 6 people that were carrying him. And there was no blood trail going over to the vehicle that brought him on Air Force 2. Why the fuck was he on Air Force 2?
And you would know what that looks like too. Like, that would be a mess.
Yeah,
Kind of like the Boston bombing, where the guy's missing his leg, but there's no blood.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. That the first thing you do is like his security personnel. I'm pretty sure they're ex-military and had some medical type of treatment, knowledge, and they probably had a medic on standby just in case anyone in the audience passes out or whatever reason. And none of that was the case. And also, that was the only time he ever wore a white shirt. The only other times he was wearing different color shirts. Oh, so blood on a white shirt would be very, very obvious. And
oh yeah! Wow. Okay. Good point.
There's a lot more to it as well. And then from there, what they did is they ended up basically specifically that the entire area where that was being recorded at, where the tent was, they destroyed it and paved over it within like 2 days.
Right.
So
I saw that. But I've seen so many promising. I've seen so many promising leads to what really happened, but there's always that little hole in their idea. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's been probably 10. And I think that is kind of the purpose right there, just to get us chasing our tails. That's why I don't like to jump on anything, but like before we had like a week to digest it, and even then, sometimes it's too soon.
Yes, that's a valid point. I don't like to jump to conclusions too quickly either. But if you do that, if you jump to conclusions too quickly, you might be kicking yourself in the ass essentially. Oh shit, I was wrong because I made assumptions too quickly. But when it comes to this, I thought it was real at first because a lot of people would have their vengeful reasons as to why they would want to shoot Charlie Kirk. And what about the trial? The shooter was on. It's like, yeah, that was a show trial, but it might have been. It could have just been CGI for all we know. Who knows? Nowadays, it's getting too hard to differentiate between, CGI and reality. And yes, Rico, I still think you're CGI. I think
AI.
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, I've met Zack in person. I don't know. He's not CGI, but
my stand-in is a dipshit. Ignore him.
Okay.
The guy that's in the festival.
Walter and Josh could also be CGI, for all I know.
I've met Walter and Josh numerous times.
As have Rico, he saw our avatars, right?
I just want to say good morning, man. I've had like Christmas hell. I don't want to call it hell because it's fun, but just kind of nonstop. But I think that's the least amount of work I've ever done for a show, and it was one of our best ones. So that says a little for my writing. But I just want to say hello. I wasn't there a lot last week. I've got so much to do. So many presents require rearranging the house.
I didn't know CGI could actually rearrange anything.
You know what? AI did take a little bite of a brownie from FEF. And let me just tell you, I hadn't felt like Beavis since I was a teenager. I was like, okay, I immediately need nachos. It was like that first time again. Feeling, I was like, I immediately need some nachos to take a fun shower and to go to sleep. And a big old glass of eggnog. Like I hadn't had the munchies in like a decade. So
you got to be careful with the edibles because you can actually, like when it comes to smoking, it gets into your cardiovascular system in a different way, and it's really, really difficult to overdose. But when it comes into the edibles, it gets into your digestive system and your bloodstream differently. You got to be really careful with that shit because some people, like myself, ate too many of them one time, and it's the old classic story of, I ate some and didn't feel the effect, therefore I ate more, still didn't feel the effect, and then all of a sudden you eat more, and all of a sudden 5 minutes after you, like the third time you eat something, it's like, oh shit, now they're kicking in.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me just tell you how, if you saw the nibble that I had that floored me that way, I would say it would speak volumes for their business. Not that they need more help, but he was in chat last night. I was chatting with him about it, but man, that kicked in. And I think I was watching previews on the Netflix menu forever, just like with my mouth agape, like, this is so interesting. I loved it. It was good. It wasn't too much. It lasted a little long, and having kids that can be difficult to navigate, you always want to be, ready for anything. But yeah, full endorsement. But what Ray sent will last forever, because I'm only going to use it for like panic attacks. I don't plan on getting in the habit like you guys. Not that it's a bad habit. It's just not my speed. Because it's not speed. Sorry.
I learned something yesterday that kind of blew my mind. The tallest building in the world, the Khalif or whatever it's called?
Yeah, in the desert.
Burj.
Yeah.
Burj Khalif. Like 30% of that building is unused. The top 30%. Like there's nothing on the floor. They don't have running water. There's no pipes that even go up the top third of that building. They
Wow.
can't figure out how to get water to go up that high.
I was gonna say, I think I've heard this. Yeah, they can't figure out how to get water high enough to supply it.
Wow. Yeah. Have you guys seen that Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise is outside of it? He really did that.
4. It's number 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah, that was all CGI. Right?
Really? No, it wasn't either. He did it. He had to change insurance companies. It was not CGI, dude. Look it up. Look it up. He was out there. Someone else has had to have seen this special.
I'm pretty sure I saw the behind the scenes when they were showing the green screen and stuff.
No, I'm 100% on this. Like, and I won't say 100 unless I mean 100. He had this real elaborate thing drilled into the concrete that he was hanging from. And apparently, in between takes, even he was running along the windows and jumping and letting it curve around the corner and stuff. But no, it was real. Look it up. The footage is amazing. Like, actually, the footage is not only amazing of the making of that scene, but it's hard to watch. Like, it gives me that vertigo feeling just watching the footage of him do it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and he was also on top of that airplane for real. And the one after that, I think, or 2 after that.
I guess they're done, or at least he's done being Ethan Hunt.
Really?
Yeah, they said that was his last one. I guarantee they're going to have a new Ethan Hunt now.
Yeah.
Just like James Bond's.
And
it's just they make too much money off of them.
It'll star Cthulhu.
Yeah, I think he's, 60 years old now? Something like that?
Something like that. Ethan Hunt will be a black chick now.
Right.
Lesbian black.
Speaking of South Park, Mom, Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
And then I pull out my gun. Oh, geez, here we go again.
I love it.
Oh shit, he's 63. Wow. Net worth $800 million. He's a staunch 5'7". Yeah, it's
just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. All he wants for Christmas is a second front tooth. A second front tooth.
Yeah, he does have a single front tooth. I've said that too. It's weird. What a weird smile.
I was thinking just the other day how they ought to remake Risky Business. And not like Girl Next Door, but like remake Risky Business.
How far they'd have to go to make it extreme. Wow, that's an interesting thought, man. Wow. Like I'm trying to explore it, make an instant joke, and nothing's coming to mind. I revert back to the Beacons of Gondor. I'm an idiot. That's an inside joke here too. I don't think I've ever mentioned the Beacons of Gondor in public, except for here. It's the idea of you running road construction crews using smoke signals before they had walkie-talkie. It cracks me up.
Well, just know that I'm sending smoke signals from here since just south of St. Louis. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Tuesday and Thursday, too, for what it's worth. But definitely every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That's all we get. Poor dog. Man, my dog looks so sad. He's a huge dog. He's easily the size of Nathan Thompson's dog, Geo. And I woke up to a little poop toot, but it had fish taco lingerings. It ran him out of the room. I didn't know you could do that to a dog.
Fuck this.
I'm out. I love
Remember, someone owes me a fish taco. Remember that little bet that I made?
That's right. Over what you actually said. Yeah. I love that the short version of what happened there is, oh, Karen was right. It's the word before it that makes it sound like that. That's what the bet was over, right? What we thought you were seeing.
Yeah, essentially. But then you look it up and you're like, oh shit, Karen agrees with me, and then you're like, oh, everyone backs down because I was right.
Yeah.
Look, we were right too. All we did was concede that it could be interpreted as such with the word before it. If you look at it that way, then yes, that'd be right. It's like being trivially true. Yes, because I can give you the benefit of the doubt and saying that perhaps you interpreted it that way and that's the way it is. Fine. But you can't deny the fact that if you interpreted it my way, then that's also what we heard.
Well, as a drummer, when you play something in an odd time, you usually come in on a beat, like a half a beat early, like an eighth note instead of a quarter note. That way, when it loops, it sounds like a normal beat, but it loops in a funky place. Is kind of the best way to describe what an odd time signature does. So that whole thing being a factor, depending on where you loop what Andrew said, we are right or wrong.
It just depends on your emphasis of the syllable.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
All right, here, I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
I said I like inspiring. But if I say it fast enough, I like inspiring, then people could say, oh, yeah, you like conspiring. Like, no, it's not at all.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was totally arguing and had no clue what I was arguing about.
Oh,
thought you did.
But you remember the general, you had to have had the general, like, pieces.
I knew it was about something. Yeah. I knew it was about something. I just didn't know what.
That's how Vanilla Ice won that whole Queen debacle from Ice Ice Baby, is the fact that it loops on the downbeat and adds an extra one. I'm trying not to talk musician talk, but it goes down, 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 and adds that extra eighth note in there. Therefore, changes the whole time signature. Therefore, he won that. He didn't get sued over using Under Pressure.
God, that's so interesting.
Is that sarcasm?
Yes.
I knew it, asshole. That's so interesting. You should do your own show.
How did you know it was sarcasm? Did you think back at what you said? Be like, oh, yeah, that's got to be sarcasm.
Well, at my age, though, you remember that whole lawsuit being up in the air, and that's how he won it.
You know, I do remember
If you could see the sheet music in my head, yeah, I know. If you could see the sheet music I'm talking about, and I could point at notes, it would have made more sense on what I was trying to say. I hate my life right now. By the way, my Zoom scrolling segment went good for its debut last night. A new segment I wrote. That's for the quick little reels that we play.
Cool.
In the beginning of the show.
Nice.
I knew it would go well, but I had to get everyone to see it. Like what I was trying to do. Which was rip off Sam Tripoli. I'm a drummer. I'm a thief. And it's easy to get away with being a thief as a drummer, because by the time the rest of the band paints over the canvas you lay out, you can't tell what you were stealing from. John Bonham.
Can you do rolls like John?
Oh, yeah. That's the school I come from, man. I even click my hi-hat when I'm doing single kick. Yeah. When I'm doing the stutters with my right foot, the way you know I'm not using a double kick pedals, you can hear my hi-hat clicking when I'm doing it. But, yeah, I like Neil Peart too, but I'm definitely a Bonham over Peart guy. Like, that's the two schools of rock drumming. That's often, are you a Neil Peart, a Rush guy or a Zeppelin guy? I'm both, but definitely more Zeppelin. I like something that dudes can nod their head to and women can shake their hips to. It makes the whole place happy. The producer that we worked with he mixed Guns N' Roses, Metallica's and Justice for All, and produced Korn's Follow the Leader. He said the best thing I've ever heard a producer say. He was like, "Hey, Rico, that's clever and all, but you're going to lose friends on the dance floor." And he wasn't being literal. That's just the way he put it, and that stuck with me. Like, that's clever and all, but you're going to lose friends on the dance floor. So unless you can be full Tool, stay away from it. Walt knows what's up. What's up, Walt?
Simpler's always better. Simpler's always better.
We had a little cat thing on Zoom scrolling last night that made me think of you. You know those 3D carpets? Those 3D carpets
Oh
that
yeah,
look
with
like a
the
hole?
little, like a tunnel down. Yeah.
Yeah, we played one of the reels on Zoom scrolling was a cat that thinks he's eternally falling down this hole in the living room. And Nico was like, "That's cat torture."
The cat that pushes the little pug off the couch just to get him to test it. Like, oh, that looks suspect, then pushes the pug, and the pug falls onto the carpet first.
Well, there's a better clip where, like, I think it's like all these cats are like trying to get down a hallway and past the big floor, the carpet that looks like a big hole in the floor.
Uh-huh.
And then like some smart ass dog walks by and just walks right over it. And all the cats just kind of look at each other and then look back at the dog.
Which I think is real. The question is, do you think the cat carrying on about thinking it's falling down an endless hole, do you think that one is real, or do you think that's just AI?
No, I think it's AI. Have you seen the kitty ones where like there's a cat that rings the doorbell and like will shoot a gun that knocks him over, and the owner comes to the door like, "What are you doing with that gun?" Like all the AI they're doing with pets now with guns.
I haven't.
Okay, I'll send you a good one. I promise. Well, finally, I have a place to focus my reels because I realize I've become that guy that's like sending way too many reels every day. I try to customize who I send what to. But now that we have Zoom scrolling, Lowry's writing something to where we can just dump once everybody approves of a reel, dump it in one file, and we can just hit play and the Zoom scrolling logo pops up and the videos play. Like, he took my idea and went to the next level, kind of like I did with Andrew's idea for Solo Sombrero. Yeah, I missed you last night, Andrew. I thought you were going to be there for sure because you called me the night before saying you had some questions, and we missed you that last night.
Yeah, well, I set my alarm and everything, but I was just so freaking tired. I ended up just going to sleep, and I had to take a little bit of a siesta there. Ended up just sleeping straight through the entire stream.
Well, I told you you're one of the guys I never mute. That I think that's the only time you've ever called that I've answered that I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I was just exhausted. Like, what a week. Like, Christmas is fun, and I definitely appreciate this is probably my last Christmas living with the whole gang, but it's also exhausting. Like, you just kind of, you're having fun, but you can't wait till it's over. Man, now that both kids are into electronics, let me tell you, the nicest Oculus and a new touchscreen laptop for Atticus, man, that's just the big gifts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if my co-parent didn't have such a big job, we wouldn't be able to pull this crap off, man. These kids have expensive taste. Thank God that my daughter likes my socks. On that note, Rico likes knives. If anybody's looking to give me anything for Christmas, I like knives.
Yeah, what kind of knives do you like?
Dude, all kinds. Lately, I've gotten into, like, I like just, like, cool knives, but lately, I've gotten really into carpenter knives, like ones that you just put a razor blade in the end of it. I've got like
a box cutter, like a 911 box cutter.
Pretty
Cool.
much. Like, but the fancier ones you put, in your left pocket, But I've got really cool ones of those. Like, not just, it's not just a box cutter. They're really like fancy fit. But I like, you remember that time I called you, Andrew? I was like, I just got slammed over a cop hood over that confrontation at the old tattoo shop. The female cop that had to hold up my bike because I don't have a kickstand on it was like, how many knives do you have exactly attached to your bicycle? I was like, I don't know. I haven't counted. They're hidden everywhere.
If you like knives,
I'm ready for an...
I do like I do. Well, get an anvil, get a forge, and a hammer, and you can get yourself some metal at a scrapyard and start making your own.
Oh, that'd be not. You mean where you're heating it up and folding and hammering and going on like a sword? Yes. You mean like that kind of? That would be
like you're doing
awesome.
Ironworks.
Yeah, well played, Walt. Dude, that would be like if they sold like how you can go into any kind of like liquor place and do a tour and seal your own Maker's Mark cap and all that. It'd be cool to be able to go in and make your own knife on like some kind of knife factory tour. You guys that know what I'm talking about with the Maker's Mark thing, that melted looking candle wax red stuff. Mine was covered with it when we toured it. It looked terrible. But that would be cool to make my own. Do you know how to make one? Did you say that being a smartass, or can you make one? Do you know how?
I've made several. I have a buddy who's a professional blacksmith, and he and I came to an agreement of if I do free electrical work and train him on the electrical work, then he would let me use his shop and he would train me in how to do forging.
Dude, that's so dope. I would love that.
Can I get a real ID?
I wasn't good with a lathe. Like, I tried to make a drumstick. I think we talked about this on here. Like, I wasn't good with that, so I'm not sure how good I'd be at making a knife, but I'd like to give it a shot for sure. I like anything like old-timey like that, like something that would be at, what's those fairs they have, medieval, where they always have a black, what's up?
Ren Fair, Renaissance Fair?
Yes, yeah. Like the kind of blacksmith that would be at one of those. I would love to
They used to have a guy that would set up just about like every weekend here in Lafayette. Not every weekend. Okay, so like the first Saturday of the month, they have this thing called Art Walk downtown in Lafayette, and a lot of vendors set up along the street, or some will set up inside of a bar that's willing to let them show their wares. And it'll be artists, it'll be jewelry makers, it'll be buskers, just different people doing their thing. And there's a guy that inevitably sets up his stall and works metal for his little time. And man, the knives he sells are expensive, but apparently worth it. I've never purchased one, but someone gave me one for Christmas one year, and it was nice, a little like hung around my neck kind of thing. Anyway, it might be floating around here somewhere if I can find it. But yeah, my son was trying to get into it, or thinking about getting into it, and then he sat down with that dude one time and probably had a conversation about all the necessary equipment that he would have to do it, and it quickly became a thing he didn't jump into like I thought he would. But yeah, definitely an interesting trade. I've looked into it years ago as well. When I was in college, there was a guy off campus that we would go visit and like go scrounging around the old foundry for parts for our weird art things we were doing. And he was always finding something like, oh, I can make a knife out of this, or I can make a whatever, that was his thing too. But again, just too much equipment necessary to get it done the correct way. Or anything.
Hey, Josh,
you just weren't going to do that in your dorm room or anything.
Right. Josh, I just sent a picture of like my box cutter collection. Calling it that makes it feel so stupid.
Wow, we're almost done with this thing. I did not realize. Well, before we get out of here, I just want to say I know I just really tripped when I looked at the time. I had no clue. I did see somebody say 5:30 just a minute ago, and I went, no way, it was already that late. Real quick, congratulations, and thank you for inviting us to your amazing event, Justin and Melissa. We were honored to be there, and it was beautiful watching you two beautiful souls add up together to be just an amazing new soul. So thank you guys for sharing that with us. Love y'all.
Yeah, it was cool to be there. It was really a great opportunity. I really appreciated the invitation and being a part of it. So, and so much that I got to sit in my car and watch. That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to see much of it. I was out on the road, but I got to hear it and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you.
Well, a few months back, I got a good deal on a Bear & Son copper vein butterfly knife, Rico, if you're ever interested. Bear & Son's not bad. They're a little handle biased, which I don't like. I prefer balanced, but
Yeah, well, you're going to get that with the blade style, the razor blade style. Like, there's kind of no way to not or to balance those. I do have my normal knives are balanced, but I don't know. I just went down this box cutter rabbit hole to where I was like, I need a good one. I got like the smallest one in that picture I sent in chat on YouTube. And every time I would, go to buy stuff for a project, I'd be, oh, that one's even cooler. Oh, that one's even cooler. Oh, now this is the coolest box cutter. I also have a pocket protector for pins that have cyanide tablets in them. I'm kidding. I'm trying to sell the crowd box cutters. I'm done. I'm out. Did miss you last night, Andrew. Justin was there. We were singing Deftones to each other in chat.
well, sorry I missed it.
There's this brand new thing. All the kids are doing it. It's called playback.
I've heard of such a thing.
I've seen that, yeah.
I've never actually applied it to this show, but maybe while I'm at work, I can get a chance to apply it to the tinfoil sombrero.
Gone forever. Too bad the internet is definitely a pencil with an eraser on the end. Okay, I'm going to shut up so you can say goodbye.
Yeah, we still get copyright hits and shit. I just, still once a week.
No kidding.
Yeah. Old shit, too. Old shit. Nothing.
From way old.
Nothing new. Look, if you monetized your video, this might affect you, but it doesn't really, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're just going to rub it in your face.
Uh-huh. This is why you'll never be monetized on our channel. Or on our platform.
I actually didn't say that's what she said at all last night. But Nico did it for me.
Thank you all. Thank you, Rico.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thinking about taking next week off.
Andrew.
It's a short week for me at work. I'm thinking about trying to get down to my pops and spend a little time down there. So I might just do a
Thank you, Nico.
digital detox that Christmas
I was
week.
thinking about that too, actually, about the week being so nuts and leading up and running and all that. So is that what we're going to do?
I
Just
think
take the
that's
whole
what we
week?
got to do, and just that not include any of this chaos overlap with the normie
with all the
chaos of Saturnalia.
Right. Now, that being said, if we all have just a meltdown and need an emergency show, you guys will see it pop up, hopefully, if you have that bell notification on. Because that's always possible, too. Emergency therapy at 4 a.m. might be needed.
Are you saying you're not going to have any more shows this week otherwise?
Next week.
Next week. We'll finish out this week and then, take a break.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that might
Do y'all hear that noise in the background, by the way?
That's just Rico.
No, you did hear that noise behind me?
That's just Rico. What am I doing? I'm just sitting here.
They've actually turned on this new steam whistle down at the factory. I mean,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's 6 a.m. and at noon every fucking day now. We get to hear the steam whistle go off, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I don't work at the fucking sugar refinery down there, sugar plant, whatever. I don't need to know that it's 6 in the morning at 6 every."
That's a real simple solution. Is you find the motherfuckers that work there and you follow them home, and then at 4 a.m. the following morning you pull up in front of their house and you just lay on your horn.
Air horn.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Hey, like that motherfucker.
Foggy London town.
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm just
All right.
astounded every time it goes off. All right, guys, love y'all so
Yeah,
much.
if we don't get out of here, it'll never
Thank you,
happen.
Duka.
Yeah, many thanks to Duma.
311 there.
Much love to Andrew B.
311.
And with us as always is Rico. We love you, Rico. Thanks much. We always enjoy having you hang out with us. And we'll see the rest of you back here on Wednesday for more of the Ironworks. So until then, be good, be well, do good, do it well. Have a great rest of your week, and remember that we love you. Bye-bye.